Hello, curious minds. Let's question what we think we know. Did you see what happened to Jack? If you haven't heard his story yet, keep watching and you'll find out what really happened. Jack, just like any ordinary day, was heading to work. He took the metro and got off at the same station he always did. But then, as he walked past a woman reading a newspaper, he suddenly felt something strange. Like the entire scene had happened before, the woman's appearance, the color of the newspaper, even the sound of a little child crying at that exact moment, Jack froze, shocked, and said to himself, "I'm not dreaming. I've lived this exact moment before." But when? The strange part was that it was the very first time he had ever seen that woman, the first time he had ever seen that child, and yet, something inside him was screaming, "I've been here before." But what if déjà vu is just a simple glitch in the brain? What if it's a signal of something much deeper? That's what we're going to find out. I'm Dr. Y, and this is Sleepy Questions. And today's big question is, why do we feel like we've already lived this moment before? Some people wonder, could déjà vu be a tiny window into the future, as if your brain is jumping a split second ahead of time? Or could it be a reflection of parallel worlds, where another version of you is already living the very same moment? It sounds like science fiction, right? But these ideas force us to ask, is déjà vu just a harmless brain trick, or a clue that reality itself is far more complex than we think? And with that question still in your mind, let's return to science and uncover together. What is déjà vu? And what does the word déjà vu really mean? What is déjà vu? Déjà vu is a French word that means already seen. It's a weird psychological thing where you suddenly feel like what's happening right now has happened before, even though you know for sure this is the first time. The strange part, scientists still haven't come up with one solid explanation for it. But there are quite a few theories trying to make sense of what's going on. The first theory, dual processing. The brain has two systems for storing memories: short-term memory, long-term memory. Normally, any new experience goes into short-term memory first if it's important or gets repeated. It moves to long-term memory later. But sometimes, for reasons we don't fully understand, a moment might go straight into long-term memory before hitting short-term asterisk. That mix-up makes your brain think, this already happened, even though it's literally happening for the first time. The second theory, asynchrony. Normally, your eyes work together and send images to the brain at the same time. But sometimes within a tiny split second, one eye sends the image just a bit before the other. That little delay makes your brain receive the same scene twice, with a tiny gap between them, so the brain thinks the second one is a repeat of the first. That's why you feel like you've seen it before, even though it's actually happening for the first time. The third theory, familiarity illusion. The human brain loves to make connections between past and present. You might walk into a place that looks like your old classroom, or smell food that reminds you of your mom's cooking again. Suddenly, you feel like you've been here before. What's really happening is your brain mixes this new experience with an old, similar memory and tricks you into thinking it's the same moment. But the truth is, it's a completely new scene. It just feels familiar. The fourth theory, irregular electrical activity in the brain. Scientists found that in certain cases, a sudden burst of electrical activity can happen in a part of the brain called the temporal lobe, the part responsible for processing memories. This quick spark can create a false feeling that something already happened, even if it never did. It shows up sometimes in people with epilepsy, but it can also happen to totally healthy people, and it usually passes quickly. Is déjà vu dangerous? The short answer is no. Déjà vu is usually totally normal, and it's more common in teenagers and young adults. It tends to happen less as people get older. But if it happens very often, or comes with headaches, dizziness, or trouble focusing, it's a good idea to see a neurologist just to be sure everything's okay. There are also other explanations, though none are proven. Some people think déjà vu might happen because you dreamed the moment before it happened. A version of you in a parallel universe already lived it. You're recalling memories from a past. Or even that a fetus sees their life before birth. But honestly, these are just theories with no scientific proof, no solid logic or experiments to back them up. Before we wrap up, let's connect the dots. Remember Jack, the man who found himself trapped in a strangely familiar moment. What he felt wasn't just a simple illusion, but an experience shared by millions of people around the world. Science has tried to explain it through memory errors, timing glitches in the brain, the mind's ability to predict, and even the way we perceive reality itself. Meanwhile, philosophy has seen déjà vu as a glimpse of time, destiny, or even parallel worlds. But what makes it truly fascinating is that most people agree on one thing. Déjà vu leaves us with a sense of wonder, as if there's a hidden secret behind the moment, something far greater than coincidence. And while scientists search for logical answers, the questions remain open. Are our minds really catching a glimpse of the future? Or are we simply hearing the echo of a moment replayed inside our brains? Jack never found the answer that day, and maybe we won't either. But one single experience is enough to make us wonder, is déjà vu just a mistake, or a tiny window into a deeper truth about reality? And before we close, remember this: déjà vu is not just a fleeting idea, it's an invitation to reflect, to ask new questions about our minds and the mysterious world we live in. Déjà vu is some supernatural event or a message from another dimension. It's simply a complex mental mix: your memory, your eyes, and a bit of brain electricity. A moment of false impression, but it's weird and kind of fascinating. It's just your brain sending you a fake notification saying, "You've seen this before." And that was today's episode from Sleepy Questions. Have you ever experienced a strange déjà vu moment? Tell us in the comments, and if you've got a question that's been bugging you with no clear answer, send it our way, and we'll dig into the science behind it in a future episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss our videos. See you in the next episode.